So Fela Anikulapo-Kuti, the late Afrobeat pioneer, has been inducted into the 2025 Grammy Hall of Fame for his 1975 album Zombie. The announcement was made by the Recording Academy earlier in the week, declaring that the classic album met the criteria for recording with lasting qualitative or historic significance. The award was received on behalf of the Kuti family by Fela's eldest son, Femi Kuti, who described it as an honor. He wrote on X, "Our father's legacy lives on. We are honored to accept this Grammy Hall of Fame on behalf of Fela Anikulapo-Kuti." His music continues to inspire and unite people across the world. Femi's statement could not be truer considering the lasting impact Fela's music is having on the global scale, transcending Nigeria. Yes, actually, the Grammy Hall of Fame was established by the Recording Academy in the 1973 to honor recording of lasting qualitative or historic significance that are at least 25 years old. Selected annually by a special member committee, eminent and knowledgeable professionals from all branches of the recording art. Nearly 3 decades after Fela's death, he is still remembered as an influential icon who voiced his opinion on matters that affected Nigeria through music. Fela's Zombie joins other notable entries such as album by Jay-Z, Santana, and Cat Stevens in the Grammy Hall of Fame collection. Released during Nigeria's military era, Zombie was Fela's fierce criticism of military brutality and blind loyalty to authority. The bold message in the music triggered a major crackdown in 1977 when soldiers allegedly raided his Kalakuta Republic, setting properties ablaze and assaulting his family and supporters. Despite efforts to silence him, Fela's message reverberates and continues to resonate in current times. Now, this is a classic. Fela's Zombie is a classic, actually. I must say, I recall listening to that music and the stories behind the whole thing. Yes, I asked questions. I know I spoke a lot. I spoke to people about it, and I got first-hand knowledge through my father of blessed memory, where he said, he told me stories of Obasanjo going, then Obasanjo was the head of state, blah, 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 blah. He went and did the whole thing. I've also heard Ben Moore Bruce talk about it, how he was in the he was at the studio with him, he just left, and before you know, the military guys came and all that. Now on the story generally, after so many years, his song is still recognized and is resonates with a whole lot of people. General overview of this particular story. What's your general overview?
I just love how Africa is dominating the global space right now. Because we have Arya Star winning BET, and now this. I mean, it's just so motivational and inspirational to other upcoming Afrobeat artists as well. Because for the longest time, Africa has been seen as, you know, second to none. But now we're actually dominating in areas that we never thought that we could ever reach. And it's not through politics, it's not through sports, it's not through something else. It's through music. As it was always meant to be. So Afrobeat Afrobeat is the future, period.
Afrobeat is the future. How are you so sure? With the kind of music that we are having these days that don't have,
When you talk about
Take
music.
for instance now, we had the Tell Your Papa song by Idris Abdulkarim. He released that particular one where he was talking to the president. He was talking to the president's son, I beg your pardon, where he was telling him, okay, tell your papa country hard, tell your papa people are dying, tell your papa this and that. And we are having the killings going on in Benue State. Do you think if an artist writes a song, and that song actually got banned from being played on air and all that. Now, if an artist like Fela now, let's say somebody that gets inspired now, an artist of this current age, the Gen Zs now, gets inspired and writes a song, do you think he has that courage to push that song?
Push the song in terms of what? Are you talking about promoting the song?
Promoting the song, or even calling out the government?
The ills in the government. Yeah. Well, whenever I think about that song, Tell Your Papa, whenever I think of that song, you know what comes to my mind? I see that they actually did him a lot of good than harm, because by telling people that that song has been banned, they not only promoted the song, because now a lot of people are like, oh, what song are they talking about? Let me go and check it out. More people heard the song. More people heard the song. They heard the story and they got the message. So you see that they actually helped him instead of banning the song and reducing his, you know, image and his song virality. So actually, do what you have to do. I mean, call them out, but make sure that you have the legal backing and make sure that the things that you're doing is actually legal, because things could happen. But then, yeah, you have the courage, you have the ability to call them out.
Now, with the current songs we are having, do you think the songs we are having are songs that will stand the test of time, considering the lyrics and all the other things?
But when you say songs that stand the test of time, I feel like one thing is quality.
Okay.
What's the quality of songs that you release? Because there's some artists that they just come and then they drop one and then they go back and you know, revitalize, create again, and then they come back, and they often take time before they do that. So some songs, just a lot of people just have this random inspiration and they just write and release this song, and most times in less than a week or 2 weeks it's down the charts. But then most people take their time and then they rewrite and they pour their soul into it. So quality, substance, these things help songs to stand the test of time, as you had said. And another thing is like your audience, the people that listen to your songs. Not everybody that listens to Davido listens to Thames. Yeah. So if Davido has this audience and Thames has her own audience. So I think it depends on the audience rather than on the song itself. That's how I see it. So
it depends on the audience rather than the song itself. Now, lyrically, are our artists doing okay?
Lyrically, I'm not the judge. I don't judge, but I will say that most of our songs have they don't have the tendency, but they have a lot of immoral content in it. And this is not me judging or calling out anybody, but I do feel that to a certain extent we should try to be a bit didactic, or there should be an ounce of morality when we make songs, because what are we actually pushing out? I don't want to call any artist name, because I don't want to get, actually I don't care, but I don't want to call any artist name. But then you see a lot of songs that they're either talking about sex, or they're talking about the body of the girl, they're talking about smoke, or they're talking about something else. So like the way in which the music industry has been positioned, it's not like you have to do all these things for your song to get viral. Like, I think I was watching Sound City the other day. I think the top song was a song by Burna Boy. I think it was Ta Ta Ta. And then you're looking at the song, you're looking at the lyrics, and you're like, what's in the name of God is this? It's not helping anybody. It's not impacting anything positive. It's not teaching anything. So yeah, I can say that to a certain extent, the lyrics of our songs these days are increasingly very demoralizing. I think that's the word I use. And artists should aim for songs that actually teach something at the end of the day, something positive,
Now,
impactful.
should every song teach something? Are some songs, not for our age and the generation we are in, should every song teach something?
I believe that. I'm one of the few people in the world that believe that music is powerful. And that there is a spirit behind music. So whenever you listen to what people sing, you should try to look up the lyrics, and then what kind of energy does the song give you? Is it giving you this chilly kind of vibes? Is it making you happy? Things like that. I always encourage people to look for things like that. But then I watched an interview of Rema, and Rema said that in the interview he explicitly said that if he wanted to add meaning to that song it won't be as hot as it was. So he had to make the song meaningless in order for the song to be poppy and attractive and catchy and all of that. So I feel like the reason why they do these things is because they need to make the song fire and make more people, because more people want to be happy. The country is hard, things are hard, economic hardship, so people just want to feel good and just live life and laugh and just, you know, forget their worries. So I feel like that's why they try to do these things in their songs.
Okay, so that's why they drop meaningless things, but it's hard. It's
catchy.
catchy.
Like that. It's catchy and it's fun and
It's meaningless.
it's
Actually.
meaningless. So yeah.
Okay. Okay, that's actually very interesting. Now let's come to Fela. What do you think is the most significant aspect of Fela's legacy that continues to inspire and unite people across the world?
Well, I think one thing is there's a very large amount of, there's a very good element of the African history and culture and how we went from the military regime and now we're here and everything. It's like basically a story he's telling in his music. And then even the way in which he tells, even the way in which he performs, the outfit he wears. I think there's this particular trouser that they call the Fela trouser. I think so. Everything he managed to infuse everything into his brand and just made him such an unforgettable and inspirational character. And then his music was also catchy as well, which is what a lot of people are looking for, and it made them happy and stuff like that. And then it's the way in which he drives his stories through, the way in which he tells the stories through music was just so magnetic, and his performance on stage. So that's why you hear a lot of artists like Burna Boy, for instance, telling you that one of the artists that inspired his music was Fela Kuti. So I think that's why Fela continues to remain an inspiration to a lot of people around the world, especially Africans. Thank you, Fela.
Thank you. Thank you, Fela. A blessed memory, guys. So Fela's music, that's actually a very interesting point of view, though. Well, Fela's music was known for its bold criticism, of social and political issues. How do you think artists of today can draw inspiration from his example while navigating the complexities of this current time?
Well, I think that if anything, it's actually easier now for you to make music.
How so?
About that, because you can literally go online and go under a name that is not actually your name, maybe not even show your identity, and just make music or talk about the issues politically. I was reading an article the other day, and then the guy was talking about the grand audacity of public looting and how government officials, public officials loot from the poor masses in the country. So I feel like you can use social media to do that. I think now it's even easier because now you can usually pay for ads. You can go on TikTok. TikTok has a load of audience and you can drop your song there. And there are a lot of people that will support you. I mean, we're already seeing people do that. We have Very Dark Man. He's making waves, even though it's not true music, but he's talking about it. He's being an activist. I think he was in Benue the other day. Yeah. And then you see a lot of people are doing it. So I feel like you can leverage on social media to your advantage now, because now it's easier for us.
For artists that are not upcoming, like quote unquote, now you mentioned Rema, how do you think Rema should infuse, if he wants to actually infuse this sort of thing into?
I think it depends on him. Like you said, if he wants to, I don't think he would. First of all, because I think it's really
he's not his person.
He's not his person.
He's not his person.
That's one way to put it. I also think that he's also in cahoots with a lot of this. Should I say cahoots? But he's in good terms with a lot of politicians. So coming out and making a song like that would actually offend these politicians or these government officials. So I don't think he would want to do that, but this is just me assuming, so I am not sure. But I do not think that he would want to step out of line and do that. A lot of times, some of these public figures like to make it look like Nigeria is all good and everything is fine, whereas it is not. So I don't think Rema would want to do that. Also pertaining to the kind of audience he has. He's an international brand right now, so they won't want to soil the reputation of Nigeria internationally. So he'll be very careful with what he puts out. But if at all he wants to do it, I mean, you're free. You can do it. I mean, nobody's stopping you or saying that don't do that.
Considering the fact that the masses are actually crying out at the moment.
They will support you. The youth will support you. But then these people have like brand managers and everything, and then they tell you, don't do this, don't do that. I don't think you should do that. No, don't do that. That's controversial. Don't talk about that. Don't talk about this. Don't do this. Don't do that. So it's kind of conflicting.
It's kind of conflicting.
But when you are settled and you know how to navigate through the space, it's not me that will tell you. I'm not a brand manager.
Who knows? You can be. Now, on this story, my final question: what would you advise young ones that want to go into music? Now we are seeing them. We are seeing the loss of life in Benue. We are seeing different things happen. Now, what would you advise them? How would you advise them to better create music that can still be vibey, catchy, and meaningful at the same time, considering using what's going on as an inspiration?
Well, for one, you can actually infuse that. You can talk about these things are things that you discuss with your brand managers or whoever is in charge. You discuss these things with them. You can infuse that into your music videos. If you don't want to like really like go down into it in your song, you can use your music video to subtly talk about it. I think I saw that in one of Mohbad's songs. Was it Mohbad or Naira Marley? One of them, I think I saw something. I saw a certain video and I was like, oh, this relates to this. So they're actually talking about, that's nice. So you can infuse that in your music videos as an upcoming artist. If you don't have money to maybe shoot a music video or direct, then you can actually write. It must not always all be about vibes and all. People are going through real issues. There are some songs I listen to and I cry because like it actually touches me and I feel a certain like very surprised. I'm very serious. So your heart's broken and then you just play one Adele song, Hello from the Other Side. It's crazy. Like honestly, I feel like music has a spirit. Music has power, and that power is in your hands as a creative or as an upcoming artist. You have to use it to your advantage, maybe to the advantage of the masses, not to your own advantage. So you can make it catchy, but still try to pass a message. It must not be too out there, but you can subtly pass in a message. You understand? So I hope that answers the question.
Yes, please. That answers the question very correctly. You can pass your message subtly. You mustn't pass your message like Idris Abdul Karim or as like Fela Kuti.
You can if you want.
You can actually if you want, but if you don't want, you can actually softly pass your message. And yes, your message, the message is passed, and that is the end of the game, guys. Don't produce or don't go to the studio and create meaningless songs, guys.
Please,
really, because
we're tired.
It's tiring, actually, because you hear a song and there's nothing to take out of that song.
There's nothing, it's just the vibes.
Yeah, and that's what this generation is all about. The
vibes.
So let's enjoy the vibe while it lasts. And I'm so proud, I'm super excited that Nigeria is actually selling, our artists actually are selling us in the international space.
When you say selling, it sounds bad.
They're selling us like, they're
putting us out there. Pushing our culture, our history.
Yeah, they are